Each year around August and September, a lot of students graduate and start their first job. And do you know, almost everyone do these 8 mistakes. So this is your friend, the Lean Programmer, and in today's video, I am going to discuss with you the 8 most common mistakes that almost every fresher, every new hire is making. So in case you are in 3rd year or 4th year, or if you just started your new job, or if it's only been a few months or a year when you've started your new job, this video is for you. Do watch it till the end and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So without any further delay, let's get started. So the first most common mistake and a dangerous one is getting overwhelmed by the amount of things you have to learn, the amount of things you have to ramp up on, and the vastness of the code base. So when you start a new job, it is very highly likely that you will get to work on an existing software application. And just for your information, it is not going to be anything like any of your college projects. It's going to be super huge. Any software application present out there, any app that you use on your phone, it's not like your college project. It is nothing like your college project. There are so many things around it. First of all, the code base will be so huge and so vast. Then it won't be like just a simple repository hosted on any GitHub or anything else. There will be CI/CD pipelines, there will be style rules, there will be a lot of things that you did not even think about in your college days. So the worst mistake that you can do while working on this code base is to get overwhelmed by it. It's going to waste your time. Get this thing in your mind that nobody will expect you to ramp up on that whole code base or to get acquainted with that whole code base in a single day. And that is why a lot of companies, most of the companies, provide you with a mentor who will guide you, who will be with you, who will help you in the initial few work items. And that's the reason why the mentor is there. So first of all, whenever you get a feeling like, oh, this is so big, I can't do this, this is so very difficult for me, get that out of your mind, because nobody will expect you to do everything in a single day. At least in your initial days, try to get comfortable with the code base first, get in touch with your mentor and ask questions. Feel free to ask questions. And now when we talk about asking questions, here comes the second mistake. So the first mistake was a lot of people get overwhelmed by seeing the amount of code base. The second mistake is almost everyone get over dependent on the mentor that the company is going to provide you. Do not get over dependent on him. You have to take the first step. You have to be the first one to go to him and ask him that, hey, I'm stuck on this problem. I am not able to figure this out. Please help me out. As simple as that. That's what he is for. He is there to help you out. So do not hesitate to ask questions. And that brings me to the third mistake. People hesitate to ask questions. Second mistake was people get over dependent on their mentor or their teacher or their trainer to come to them and ask them that is everything all right and so on. Do not be over dependent. Take the first step. And the third mistake is do not be shy. Like, people get shy in asking questions. At least I used to think this in my very initial days that, oh, if I ask this question, is he going to judge me? Do not think what others are going to think about you. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask him. It's much better than wasting your own time. So the best thing to do in these cases is spend 30 minutes or 1 hour or maximum 1.5 to 2 hours in trying to figure out the mistake that you are doing or in trying to figure out the things on your own. But even if you are not able to figure it out in maximum 2 hours, do not wait any longer. Approach your mentor and ask him about that problem. So the fourth mistake is remaining stuck, remaining blocked. In the industry, no matter if you are a new hire or you are an experienced professional, the most important thing is getting yourself unblocked. There will be times when you will be blocked on a lot of partner teams, on someone else's work, or maybe you're getting stuck on something. In those cases, you will have to learn how to unblock yourself. Learning to unblock ourselves is super important. If it's someone else's work that's blocking you, for example, if you're working on front end and there's a person in backend team who has to make an API before which you cannot write the functions and you cannot integrate it end to end, there can be multiple options that you can do. First of all, maybe write some demo APIs, write some stub APIs, and probably try to integrate them. Ask him the schema and try to reduce your dependency as much as possible. Learn to unblock yourself. If you are stuck on a problem, go ask someone. If you are blocked on someone else's work, approach him, ask him, keep following up with him on what's the ETA of their work. And if the ETA is too long, do not be blocked on that much time. See if there's any other option which you can do, and see if you can write some demo code and integrate that instead of the real APIs or something like that. But learn to unblock yourself. This is super important. So this brings me to the fifth mistake, that is, people do not ask for feedback. People forget to ask about the feedback. This is something super important, because remember that nobody is going to come to you and say it on your face that, hey Madhav, you're not doing correct, you're not doing this correct, you can be better in this. Unless and until you ask for feedback, nobody is going to give it to you. And feedback is super important for your own progress. So every 2 weeks or every 1 month or every 1.5 months, keep asking about the feedback on your progress. Unless and until you know how you are doing, unless and until you know about your progress and you're aware about how much impact you are making, you will never know how to grow. So make sure that you keep asking feedback continuously from your colleagues, mentor and manager. Now the sixth mistake that almost every engineer do in their initial days is not taking their code review or the comments on their PR very seriously. So this is something super important, that when you will raise the PR, you will send it for review. Probably some of your co-workers might review it, and you have to take the review, each comment seriously, because that is how you're going to improve the quality of your code. So make sure that you are taking each code review seriously and working on the tips or the comments or the suggestions that are given by the experienced employees. Now that we are talking about code reviews, the seventh mistake that people do is directly sending their PR for a code review. Do not send your PR directly to a code review. Do not raise a PR directly and ask someone to review it. The first thing that you should do before raising a PR or before sending a PR for review is make sure that you review it yourself. Just think about it like this, that you raised a PR and now you are someone else. Now you are some other employee looking at the PR. So review your own PRs. I hope you are aware of them. Pull request. Make sure that you review your pull request on your own. So when you go through the pull request on your own 2 to 3 times, you will clearly see the mistakes that can be improved on your own. So make sure that you are correcting the mistakes that can be improved on your own, instead of wasting someone else's time on reviewing the PR that has minor mistakes. So make sure that you are reviewing your pull requests on your own before sending it for a code review. Now the last and the most critical mistake that you can do is stay limited to what you are being told to do. So guys, this is super important to have end-to-end knowledge about the product that you are working on. If you are working for a big company or if you are working for a big startup, it is very possible that you will work on some specific service or some specific microservice or some specific area of that service as well, because the code base is so huge that you can simply not work on all the areas. So you will be assigned that specific area. So I'm not saying you to get acquainted with the code base completely, and I'm not telling you to do that in a single day. But the super important thing to remember here is to not stay limited to your own area of work. A simple example could be, let's say if you are working on some specific area of a front-end website, do not make yourself limited to that area. Communicate with the folks from back-end team about what technology they're using, what tech stack they're using, how are they maintaining their code, and so on. Keep communicating. The more you communicate, the more your knowledge is going to increase. Make sure that you are not at all limited to the work items. Make sure you are going one step beyond. Make sure you are communicating with people. Make sure you slowly, very slowly take baby steps. But make sure that you are being aware of everything that is happening step by step. maybe 1 week, keep your target as to understand all the deployment pipelines and understand how the deployment processes take place in your company. Then maybe 1 week, try to understand the lint rules and how did the developers who defined those lint rules do that, and so on. So in any product, in any software application, there are going to be several bugs that will keep coming. People will try your product, there will be testers, and they will keep filing bugs. And a very simple way to update your knowledge end to end on the product would be volunteer to triage those bugs and to try to resolve those bugs. Try to go over all the bugs and see in what areas the users are facing the most difficulties and issues in. Try to understand, take one bug at a time and try to understand what would be the root cause of it. When you start understanding the root causes of various bugs, you will automatically start understanding the code base more. You will automatically start understanding the end-to-end picture a little bit better. So that was just simple advice. There can be endless more ways on how can you increase your end-to-end knowledge about the product, but make sure that you are not staying limited to the work items that you are given. Make sure to go one step beyond what you're told to do. That's it. Those were the 8 mistakes that a lot of beginners and a lot of freshers, a lot of new hires do. I hope you won't make them, and see you in the next video next time. Don't forget to comment if you like this video. Don't forget to share it with your friends as well, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/TheLeanProgrammer. See you in the next video. Bye bye.